Welcome, my League of Eagles, to Leaders in Light, Love, and Legacy. We're live here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FavUnite Radio. I'm Joy Ruffen, your minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings, and your signature style and leadership specialist. The theme this month, it's a big one. They all are. Let your light take center stage. It's a moment to breathe, to appreciate your journey, and the journey never ends, and to recognize the brilliance that you have within you. Our topic today, we're going to be talking about ageless. And it doesn't matter what generation you're in. I'm in the happy season of life, but yet it could be 30, 40 years ago. It doesn't matter. It begins when you recognize that your health is everything. My topic today is all about ageless. And we're going to be talking about a woman, a lady who is absolutely one of the biggest advocates for it. Her name is Sandi Cohen. And I love to share with you a little bit about her because when I bring her up, I want you to listen to all the brilliance that she'll be sharing with us. One of the things that I love about Sandi is that she's a wellness educator and co-founder of Ageless Advocates, a platform dedicated to helping people extend their health span and not just their years. I want you to let that marinate, let that sink in for a bit. With over 3 decades, it's hard to believe when you meet Sandi, of experiencing sourcing and evaluating wellness solutions alongside her husband, a retired pharmacist, Sandi is focused and dedicated to any and everything that has to do with your health and how you can make that health span much, much longer. Sandi, hello and welcome, and thank you for being here, and thank you for your patience and your grace. We had a heck of a time getting here, but we made it.
Thanks so much for having me. And, we're both of the generation where we did not grow up cable ready.
Yes.
So,
Indeed.
But I am the forever student, and I thank you for your patience and, of course, for inviting me because the topic, I think, for most people is critical. How do they extend the quality of the years? Not the length of the years that they stay on this side of the dirt, but sadly, most people will spend the last 10 years of their life in disease. And because of our background in the wellness world forever, there are ways we can change how we age.
Sandi, I love that. I love that and how you brought that home into us very succinctly, because the way that you express it and the way we're going to talk about it is your health span, and it's about the quality of your health. And it's so true. Most of us to date, with all of this new technology and everything, the last 10 years of one's life, if you're not in the era of knowing more about how to have a healthy health span, it can be in the disease time period, the ending years. Doesn't have to be. And that's what we're going to talk about. So tell us how did you get to this, and give us some of the daily habits that can dramatically improve the quality of our life at any age?
Well, the reality is, I think most people don't realize how the body changes till they hit about 40 or 50.
Yes.
And they often have parents that are aging and they have to become caregivers. And you're fortunate if you have daughters. I have sons. And we took care of my mother for 5 years at home with Alzheimer's and breast cancer. Oxygen. So I have sons who are probably not going to do that. So what we have to realize is, in fact, I was on a wellness webinar, a free one, a word in the English language, free. I was the only one on that webinar that was not a licensed healthcare professional. Now, my husband's a retired pharmacist. But was that they said over the last 18 months to 2 years, technology has advanced so dramatically.
Yes.
That more and more people, if they do the right things and make the right choices, because the body wants to be well, there are these with artificial intelligence and frequencies and unique nutraceuticals to help people extend the quality of their years, not just the years, but if you look at people in parts of the world that live beyond 100 without disease. Mm-hmm. So there are things that they do every day that help accomplish that. So Ed and I, and it's actually more than 3 decades because we're married forever. I'm not even going to go there because nobody's going to believe how old I am anyway. But we've learned is it's not complicated. It can be very simple to use, non-invasive tools that support our circulation, recovery. Of course, most people should know the gut is your second brain. Sleep is important, relaxation and vitality. And that's what we're going to talk about. And you're so ahead of the curve, Joy, giving your audience the newest and latest of every topic possible. And what we're going to focus on just today is how to empower people to take ownership of their wellness and make better choices. And I'm excited to share with the audience a brand new frequency device that most people don't know about because it just launched the week before Thanksgiving. Now think about that. How ahead of the curve you are, Joy, that you're to talk about this device that just launched a couple weeks ago. In fact, I have it in my hand. I just got mine, and we're shipping to 154 countries for people who are concerned, not just about aging, but the quality of their years.
Yes.
Digestion, gut health, constipation, which we don't want to go there, but it's been a challenge for me since I'm a teenager. Mm-hmm. But also weight loss, getting it off and keeping it off. So when I was in high school, which was forever ago, I used to do some modeling. And in order to do that, I literally worked out 7 days a week, ate an apple and a salad every single day. That was it. There used to be somebody called Twiggy that was really, really skinny. Yeah. Most people don't know who I'm talking about. But anyway, imagine those of us who have been on every weight loss program available. And now with all these injections that are so harmful, women are crazy to get the weight off and yet keep it off. So what we're going to talk about today is this patented frequency device with 21 US patents. And it was just listed yesterday with the FDA being registered. So we're talking about something that, imagine it's something that you wear like a belt around your abdomen. If you're educated at all about visceral fat that's filled with toxins related to disease, well, it addresses the visceral fat, and you only need to use this 20 minutes a day on the front of your abdomen and on the back of your abdomen. And what the science is showing with all these frequencies that this device uses, which is 7 different frequencies, and I'm sure your listeners and you are aware of a gentleman by the name of Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
And what he said decades ago, I don't know, come to be that frequency is the future of medicine. So wearing this device, 20 minutes a day, front and back, you can actually burn up to 1,000 calories a day.
Wow, that's a lot. Listen, I want to piggyback a wee bit. I love all of this information that you're sharing with us, Sandi, but I want to go back because I take things in differently, but I know if I am, others have questions too. You said something that I'm sure many people know. I did not, but as soon as you said it, it resonated. I knew how important the gut was, but you said the gut is like the second brain. Never heard it expressed that way, and I like that. And then this new patent item that you're talking about, you said 20 minutes around the front and then the back. Is that 10 minutes for the front and 10 minutes for the back, or is it 20 minutes for front and back, 40 minutes all told? Share with us a little bit more about that before we keep going with this.
Great question. And it is 20 minutes on the front, and there's different settings, and it even has an AI watch. So it monitors where you are internally and what intensity you need. But you can use it without the watch if you don't want to. But it is 20 minutes on the front and 20 minutes on the back. So for back discomfort or indigestion or constipation, It is absolutely amazing. Now, I'm on day 2. Today's my second day.
Woo,
I'm measuring, of course, and we'll let everybody know, because a friend of mine who's really skinny. She's Asian American. She's so tiny. And I said, what else are you going to get? And she's already lost an inch off her waist in 7 days. But she feels wonderful. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. This sounds beyond exciting. And I'm sure that everybody will be waiting with bated breath to see this and to get this. But let's take this further, because I like gut as the second brain, because I'm all about heart and soul connected. And most of us have been brought up with the brain as the totality of everything. Yes, it's major. But if you don't have the heart and soul connected to it, if you don't have all of these other items that are important, it's good. Tell us a little bit about the 30 years of sourcing and evaluating wellness solutions, what it has taught you about what truly supports. You've already shared it with us a little bit. We're all excited. Supports vitality versus passing trends. Share with us a little bit about that. And Sandi, I love the way you're expressing to us as mainly the layman audience. I've always been a health enthusiast, but yet I love all of these new products and the time that we're in. It's a great time to be alive. Every time is, but I think what you're doing with the work that you're doing and this new product that you're bringing is going to be phenomenal. So share with us a bit about supports vitality versus passing trends.
We moved from Lake Las Vegas to a community that I call Disneyland for seniors. So we're now living and when we moved here a year ago, of course, I do my homework. You know, we have the internet, and it turns out that the Aviv Clinic that has corporate R&D in Tel Aviv, Israel, has a facility in Dubai, and the other facility is here, literally 7 minutes from our home.
Ooh.
And they shops absolutely free. And you can go and learn all about how the body ages. And last year, it was actually last November, they had an offering. And they said to the community, anyone that would like to be certified and attend classes for 3 months, we have to go 4 days a week, 2 hours a day for 3 months. And then we graduated with cap and gown and everything else. And there was an exam at the end. And I said to the head physician, oh my gosh, I haven't taken an exam in forever. Fail. And here's what he said: you can't fail. I said, tell me why I can't fail. His answer was, it's an open book test. Okay.
I love it.
That's where I learned the importance of gut health, because it's directly linked to disease, but so is circulation. So how do you know if you have sticky blood or not? So especially for cellular reproduction, oxygen to the cells. And the truth is, most people would not know they have sticky blood that leads to disease. Now, I'm going back probably 25 years ago. There are naturopathic physicians who would do blood microscopy. And I think it's been banned in California, and I'm not sure why, but they take a blood sample from your finger, just like a diabetic, taking a blood sample, and then put it under a microscope. And that would show whether your blood flow was sticky. And if it was sticky, obviously you're not healthy. And what they say, and you can go to ChatGPT, which is my new best friend, and just ask
all of us, yeah.
How long before you have a diagnosis or a symptom of what's going on in your body? And it's 15 years. 15 years prior to you having a symptom or so when people say, I'm healthy, Sandi, why do I have to do anything? And my answer typically, Joy, is, how do you know you're healthy? You don't know what's going on in your body, because what may happen, hopefully not, but what may happen may take 10, 12, or 15 years. So the key is prevention. Just do some simple things. Quite honestly, Joy, I often tell people, is it to stay healthy? Well, think about how expensive it is to be sick, okay? But if you're worth less than the price of a cup of Starbucks latte a day, and I think Google said it was $7.20 a day, instead of that, invest in health so that you can enjoy your years, so that you can enjoy the family and the grandkids. And, you know, that because my father died at 65 of a heart attack. And obviously, I'm way beyond that. And it's such a pleasure to meet you and your community, because if they're connected to you, then they're special and they want that impact of influencing people in a positive way.
Sandi, I love what you're sharing with us for so many different reasons. And I want to share this with you. The two things that you've given, I have an inkling about both, but gut is the second brain and sticky blood. I want to ask you a little bit more about sticky blood, because I think about deep blood, dark blood, cohesive blood, and all of that. But I want to know a little bit about sticky blood. But what I love about what you're doing is most people in my generation, 10, 20 ahead or behind, they are thinking that it's really about exercise and taking care of the body. And it is. But more than that, it's about how you care for the body, health-wise, how you keep it alive and healthy and agile and active. And as much as so many of us retire at a certain age, there's no such thing as retirement for those who still want to be active. And if you keep your health, and the younger you start, the better it is. That's why this is such a great time to be on the planet. So tell us a little bit about sticky blood, and also how the base wellness tools that fit into this modern health span and strategy. You already mentioned to us a little bit about this new product, and I'm sure you're going to share with us a little bit more. But kind of combine all of that together for us, starting off with sticky blood. I think I know what it is, but tell us a little bit more about sticky blood.
Well, you know, it's interesting. When Albert Einstein made this statement, frequency, the future of medicine, and go to a website called PubMed.gov, which is the federal government's National Library of Science, and just ask it for PEMF frequency, pulse electromagnetic field therapy, and they actually spent in the early 70s a fortune. The government spent a fortune for type of frequency for astronauts when they came back from space, because they were a mess. Muscles were atrophied, bone density gone, a mess. So if you think about from the early 70s to today, how technology has advanced. This company that we're now associated with is only 3 years old, actually, this month. And they've already done $1 billion in sales in 3 years.
Ooh.
Only 7 countries in Asia. So we're part of the team introducing this new technology. And it's new technology. No one else has it. And we're introducing it to the United States, to Canada, Europe, and actually now, as of yesterday, shipping to 154 countries. So there is a video that I have, and I'm just working so hard to create a website for people to visit to get more. But I will be putting a video on the website where a friend in Canada went and had her blood microscopy done. And it showed under the microscope the blood that just was stuck. It wasn't moving, flowing. And then she used one of these devices. Now the company has 7 devices. The shaken massager, what we're talking about today, is brand new, but they have 6 other devices that deal with frequency. So they were using one of the base units, and it was a 30-minute session. She put her feet on for 30 minutes, and then they did the blood microscopy again. Amazing. The blood is flowing all over. So I said to my husband, how does anybody know if they have sticky blood? You know,
exactly.
How would you know that? So he's science-based, and he said, well, one of the indicators might be you're not sleeping well, you're not feeling well, you've got digestion, you're tired. A diagnosis with anything. So that could be an indicator. And I have a friend in Hawaii, rather young. Of course, everybody's younger than me, but I would guess now in his mid-50s, and he had a stroke in his 40s. He had actually 12 or 13. He actually, he had multiple strokes, not one, very young. And he lost the use of the whole right side of his body.
Oh, dear.
His flew to Hawaii, and they were having a dinner celebration of some sort. He said to his uncle, I'd love you to try this device to put your feet on. It was one of the base products. So he put his feet on the device, and after about 10 minutes, because it was a 30-minute session, he said, Jason, we can be done. I'm not noticing anything. And Jason said, well, we're going to eat, and you're sitting here anyway. Let's finish the 30 minutes. And about 15 minutes later, the uncle said, oh, my God, I'm feeling heat on my toes. I can actually move my toes now. So the whole family came running over to the uncle to look at his
I bet.
And now we're probably maybe almost 5 months later. This is after acupuncture, chiropractic, physical therapy, nothing. He now has total use of the right side of his body.
Oh my goodness, isn't that wonderful?
You know, do miracles happen? For some, yes. But just it's like taking nutraceuticals. You know, some people don't notice something right away, but because they work at the cellular level, and if they're science-based, I think you know, Joy, the longer you take it, the better the results.
Exactly. Yes. And you know, Sandi, we're in the instant society. Everybody, most everyone, and it's not only the younger generation, they want everything like yesterday, instantly. They don't want to put in the time and the work that's required. So when you say that, I get it. But let me go piggyback on something here that I need more clarification on, because when I don't get it, I know there's zillions of others out there who won't. Tell us, first off, do you have your website set up yet, or is that in work in progress?
I'm so glad you asked. You know, I love technology. So I did put up a website, but for the audience to know, it is a work in progress.
Good.
So it's something, because I have a PDF that explains specifically this new patented device. So they can just request the PDF and we'll send that to them. I have some videos on there, but it is a work on progress. So if they keep checking back, they'll see some additions.
Okay, that's the second question I wanted to ask you. You mentioned the PDF and a work in progress. We're always a work in progress with whatever we're doing. Change and tweaking is just part of the process. But let me ask you this. I want to get, and I know others out here tuning in now, and thank all of you who are tuning in now and those who will come for the replay, that we want to know more about this new product that you mentioned that's non-invasive, 20 minutes on the front, 20 minutes on the back. It helps you with blah, blah, blah. Give us the name of this product. And I know when we get the PDF, we're going to get more information. But share with us a little bit more about that, how it helps with our modern health span strategy for relaxation, recovery, circulation, non-invasive, healing, better sleep, and overall comfort. Who doesn't want that? And if you think you have it now and as years progress, if you're not taking all the necessary steps, it won't continue. So share with us a little bit more about that, because I'm excited to hear and see this product.
Well, you know, I'm glad you're asking, because what we're showing people and sharing today is something that's unique in all the world with new AI technology. It's not just for, I mean, when we lived in Vegas, we would sit in the lobby of a hotel at the coffee shop and just watch people walk by, like we used to do in Atlantic City on the boardwalk, if anybody's And we just looked at people and said, oh my God, look at that guy. He looks like he's 8 months pregnant. Look at that woman, how big she is and long. And truth is, I think 70% of the people are overweight, and it is so unhealthy.
It is true. Yes.
Not changing much of anything, and just putting this shaken massager, that's what it's called, shaken massager, unique in all the world, using 7 different types of frequencies. And when they request more information, the PDF will go through everything with them. So they can then go to ChatGPT, which is my new best friend, and just say, what is this? What is that? And how does it work? And will it help with this? And will it help with that? So the website is in progress, but it's now called Ageless Advocates, plural, Ageless Advocates, shaken.com.
Okay.
Shaken So I've got some initial things there that people can check out, and just go to the link that says resources, tell me more, and I'll be delighted to send lots more information and updates. And because it's only since Thanksgiving, so it doesn't matter when you're listening to this, it's brand new, and people are already submitting their experience of what's happening with their abdominal, especially with the visceral fat. So just go to google.com or Google Scholar or pubmed.gov and ask, what are the harmful effects of visceral fat? Not just fat, but the visceral fat that's around the middle. And if you understand that gut health is a priority, just ask again. ChatGPT, it's free. Of course, I pay because I use her so much. But my was here and said, well, how much do you pay her? I said, it's pretty expensive, Justin.
Sandy, I'm chuckling and I'm laughing away here because I was just tuning in with a person this morning that I spoke with at length. And she said to me, I use ChatGPT all the time. In fact, I now call her Professor ChatGPT because it's taken over in many ways. You have to abide by some of the facts that they give you, but it is a fabulous learning tool. And when you put yourself into the equation and have it add on your personality, your flavor and flair, it really is phenomenal. So I like that. This product sounds absolutely beyond exciting. I think most of us will be eager to learn more about it. So we will definitely get to agelessadvocatesshaken.com and find out more about it and get to your website and get the PDFs and so on and so forth, because it really sounds like it's going to be great. Now, you're talking about it's designed to support digestion, indigestion, constipation, and it can burn up to 1,000 calories a day. And we are definitely in the FAT society. Now, it has nothing to do with the size, Sandy, because you can be large. We are the human animal kingdom. But if you're not taking care of this temple, this vessel, this body, you're in deep you know what. So I just think what you're doing is great. How you said, did I hear you say earlier that this is the third day that you're using it?
Yes, today will be day 3. Yes.
And what kind of feeling or sensation does it give you when it's massaging you through the front and the back? How can you express that to us?
And, like you, Joy, I'm so busy. So what's nice about this Shaken massager, I'm using it. In fact, I have it in my hand, but we're not on video. I can put it on while I'm on my computer doing Zooms and nobody sees it. I just put it on, and there's warmth, there's vibration, and there's different settings depending upon what you want. There's several different modes that you can choose. So I'm choosing mode 1 because at my age, I'm also an insulin-dependent diabetic for about 22 years.
So is my hubby.
But someone is a diabetic or over 60 or over 70 or over 80 years old, losing inches is very difficult. I always refer to my fat like cement. I mean, no matter worked out or limited my caloric intake, it was just so difficult to lose the inches. But I am really looking for, now I know enough to know that for some people, it'll work very quickly. For other people, maybe like me, it may take a month or 2 or more. But if you use it twice a day, that's the recommendation. And then the back. And in fact, my husband, who weighs the same thing, Joy, as when I met him in high school, when he was 19, he was just entering school. So he has gained an ounce since he's 19 years old. But he's using the Shaken massager because of his back. He had a really serious back golfing 8 years ago where his golf cart went over a cliff. He's lucky he's alive. So this front and back, regardless, because when we were dating forever ago, he always said, when I get older, I'm not getting one of those middle-aged bellies. He always said that.
You know what they say, the louder you laugh, the truer it is. I mean, we see that everywhere. And I have a little tummy now. That's why I'm going to be chatting in with you. But, you know, all of the things that you're sharing with us, one of the reasons and the questions that I had for you, Sandi, is that I wanted to know if you could use it at any time. And for those of us who are working online predominantly and doing a lot of networking, we can use it while we're sitting here in the back and so on. So that's another part. We don't have to do it in the morning or at night or in bedtime. We can use it whenever it's convenient for you in your home, or even when you're out doing errands, depending. So I love that. I think it's great. Yeah.
If I wanted to lose more weight, would it help if I did it twice a day? Because I would be willing to do that. And what I'm hearing from corporate, not necessary. Because if you use it twice a day, you may only burn another maybe 200 calories. So they're suggesting just once a day, front and back, is sufficient for the 20 minutes each session.
Now, you mentioned something about the mode, and you're starting with mode 1 for your reasons. But the modes are contingent upon what? Is it contingent upon the condition of your body at the time that you start, or the age that you are, or the amount of stomach fat that you have and other issues? How many modes are there, and how do we determine which one is for us?
So I'm new to the unit. So there's, I believe, 3 different modes. And I'm the first mode because it's specifically for fat loss. And it feels warm. It feels like I'm getting a massage. It just feels wonderful. So on the website, that's a good point. I will put on the website what the different modes cover. So when you order the device, of course, it comes with videos and a user manual. And thank God it's in English, not in Chinese. So it comes in English. So people then can determine what's best for them, because it could be different for each one of us.
Oh, my goodness. This product sounds exciting. How did you come to discover this product? I mean, was there a networking group or some association that you belonged to, or was this something you were searching for? How did you get to this product?
Well, as I shared with you, my husband and I, it's literally about 33 years. We have been Ageless Advocates because we had 5 pharmacies and I had a multi-million-dollar med surge business. And I used to say to Ed, why is it? And I had a patient come in who was in his 70s. And when I was 40, I thought 70 was really, really old. I now think 70. But
no.
He was
no more.
Yeah, he came into my facility, and Eddie actually bought me a supermarket that went out of business to house my employees and my showroom and everything else, because we were near all the local hospitals in Philly. And he said to me, "Oh, I just came from taking the grandkids at the zoo, and I'm going to go play golf tomorrow, and I'm going on a cruise." And I said, "Oh my God, that's wonderful." And that same afternoon, I had to do a house call for a gentleman about the same age, on oxygen, on dialysis, in a wheelchair, waiting to die. And I came back and I said to Ed, what's the difference? Why is one in his early 70s thriving and the other one waiting to die? And that's what has begun. So anyway, we've been looking for wellness resources for literally over 30 years. And about maybe 7 years ago, we got a call from our CPA, our accountant. And he knew we were into aging, obviously. And he said, I just became the CFO for a company that's releasing a frequency device. What do you know about frequency? And I said, well, I know enough to be dangerous. I said, but let me look at it, which I did. And we became distributors. And that was about 7 years ago. And I have to tell you, it was so difficult to program. I mean, it was, it worked, but it was so difficult. So about, I guess it was May, I was talking to a friend about a tech tool. And he said to me, you know, Sandi, you've been into anti-aging for a long time. I'm in Dubai right now with a friend from Taiwan, and he's really into anti-aging as well. And he's also a retired pharmacist. I said, oh, that's amazing. He said, I said, sure. So anyway, it's
uncanny how those things happen, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and I met this cute young man. He's probably in his mid to late 40s. And he's a pharmacist. And I said, well, where do you work? Because that's my first question. Where do you work? Thinking, do they have Rite Aid? Do they have Walgreens? Do they have CVS in Taiwan?
Yes.
Well, I don't. What do you mean you don't work? And he says, well, I had to quit my job. So for someone in the medical world, if a licensed professional quits their job, what do you think, Joy? He sells controlled drugs without a prescription. I said, oh my goodness, Paul, why did you have to quit your job? And I'm waiting for this long story. And he said, well, there's a new device launching here in Singapore, and I am doing well with the device. I had to quit my job because I'm making $4,000 or $5,000 a day. And I wasn't wearing my hearing aids. And I said, could you repeat what you said? So I said, well, I need to know more about this device. I said, how to program? Because I'm thinking about the other device. He said, well, they're going to ship it from Hong Kong in a box. You open the box.
Yes, this sounds exciting. I tell you, Sandi, I can only tell you that I am sure with bated breath, many people are going to be waiting to learn and hear more about this product. And I think what you're doing is admirable in so many different ways. The time flies here. The beauty that I want to leave our audience with is that you're going to be doing a live with us in January. And when you do that, you're going to bring this device so we can see it on screen in conjunction with all of this website information, the PDF and all of that other stuff. But what parting words, as briefly as you can, would you want to leave us with? What takeaway? What suggestions would you like to leave us with? Words of advice, whatever, that will be meaningful to those who are interested and those who will become more interested in all the things that you're talking about, whether they're 20 or 80, it doesn't matter. The stage is yours.
That's a really good question. So ask yourself this question: how important is it for you to live longer with vitality and extend your health span? It's that simple. And if it's a high priority, do your homework, do your research. And I'm always here to answer questions. You can always reach out to me. My contact information will be on the website. But nothing gives me more joy to be able to help people live the life they deserve to live.
Great ending, great ending. Sandi, I can't wait for us to get together in January, and we're going to make it work in the best way because we're all excited to hear more about this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay in the green room for just a second and let me close out. My Eagles, don't we bring you the best featured guests ever with so much new excitement for you and ways to rethink a lot of our old programming, conditioning, and how we've been sexualized, regardless, and especially for us women. Thank you for spending time with us. I appreciate your energy, your presence, and more importantly, your time. I'd like to leave you with this gem. This is what Sandi left us with. She left us with so many pearls of wisdom, but her ending is spot on. How important is it, your health span, no matter what age or generation you're in? Because this product, it sounds like it's going to be impactful and powerful for any, every, and all of us. I invite you to watch our next week episode, and also to just subscribe at joyruffen.com/style clarity. Don't forget, these are new bundles that are just waiting for you. And I'd love it if you'd subscribe also to my YouTube channel, Joy Ruffen, Fashioning Femininity, Style, and Truth. How about you like, comment, subscribe, and follow my YouTube channel? We're always looking for soulful featured guest speakers, as we've just witnessed today. My Legal Eagles, thank you for sharing this space with us. Our featured guest, Sandi Cohen, is someone that you really ought to, not woulda, coulda, shoulda, you ought to connect with. So until next time, stay radiant, stay confident, and own your power, letting your light lead the way. And your light means that you are in cahoots in the best way with your natural health span. Until we connect the next time, and we will, I leave you as I always do, with much, much love from my heart to yours. Cheers, my League of Eagles. Until the next time. So long for now. Cheers.